So today I'm going to do my first unboxing video, and the reason why I wanted to do this particular video is because I wanted to introduce some of the new things that I'm doing here at the shop. Basically, I started a line called SUPER661, and the idea of the line is to simply take classic designs and re-engineer them. Number one objective is to make everything 100% backwards compatible. So whatever transmission that I design parts for will always be compatible with new units that I build, as well as old units that people may want to use as service parts. Now, why did I do this? I did it because a lot of the aftermarket parts that are on the internet that are people buying very cheap and apparently buying quite a bit of, the tolerances are way off. So parts fit very loose, sometimes they don't fit at all. Gears can seize to shafts, gears can break, things of that nature. And I really didn't want to get into that whole game. And the other thing is, some of the higher end people have gotten away from making conventional replacement parts and kind of migrated into their own proprietary parts, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, for what I'm doing and what a lot of the rebuilders are doing, it leaves an empty void. So one of my suppliers had a main shaft made that was a beautiful piece, and they stopped making it. It was a rifle drilled main shaft for the Muncie 4-speed. I really liked that part. But unfortunately, they weren't going to make it anymore, and they were migrating into their own proprietary splines and proprietary reverse gears, which is great, but it leaves me short, and a lot of the build is short of a good quality part. So I went back to the drawing board, and I started to design a new main shaft the way I would like it to see, rifle drilled with some oil slots in it, with all the little tricks that I normally would do to a unit anyway, and tighten up the tolerances so the hubs fit correctly, but they still drop on, things of that nature. So let me unbox this main shaft and show you how it looks. Okay, so the SUPER661 line has nicely branded boxes. Okay, it's got my YouTube channel logo on it, the website's address, as you can see, SUPER661, and of course our motto, classic designed and re-engineered. And this is the SUPER661 Muncie Mainshaft. And on the back side of the box, we've got the 32 spline. Soon we'll have the 27 spline configuration. So let's open it up and see what we got. So all the boxes, by the way, I do inspect, make sure everything is there, make sure that the main shafts are not dinged in any way or damaged in any fashion, and they're clean and ready to install. Got a rust-proof wrap on it, as well as nylon webbing to also help make sure that the shafts are not dinged in any way or damaged during shipping. So here we have our 32 spline shaft, front to back. Nice reliefs on the shaft, standard reverse gear, standard splines, rifle drilling on the inside. So the SUPER661 main shaft was designed to eliminate the chocking on hubs that everybody always talks about. So with my SUPER661 hub, you can put it on and it'll pretty much drop right in place, but it won't chock. You see? There's very good tolerancing on these, so the hubs will not move around. So you don't have to have press fits necessarily to make hubs not move around, all right? There's a very little clearance, but it's nothing huge. In fact, it's a little bit snug sometimes. Same thing on the back side. We'll put on these hubs here. See? It's a nice tight fit, but still goes on. Now you can build shafts like this. You don't have to go crazy with press fits, because in today's day and age, you should be able to get correct tolerancing. There's no reason for that. So now let's go take a nitrided Muncie hub. These were used in the 1970 and up model year transmissions. Normally, these particular hubs, because they were nitride processed, they were a little bit tighter on main shafts. So with these particular hubs, if you had them on normal Muncie transmissions, a lot of times you would have to kind of press these on and off. They were very tight. Let's see how they work on this main shaft now. Because you may be wanting to use your old hubs, right? So I'm going to line it up here, get it on A little tight and snug, but there you are. Perfect fit, no chocking. Okay, so again, you don't have to go crazy with press fits to get good precision fits. So this is an aftermarket main shaft. Not going to mention the brand, okay, but we're going to take one of the hubs and you're going to put it on here and you're going to see what I'm talking about as far as it moving back and forth, you see? Now this isn't really such a big thing, but considering that this is an aftermarket piece, you should be able to make hubs not do this. Just a factory nitrided hub, same thing, you put it on here. It's got a little bit less movement because the nitrided hubs were tighter, but it still chocks back and forth. Again, putting this one on is nothing. So what I did here is I've got the factory OEM main shaft right over here and the new SUPER661 main shaft on top. One of the things you may not notice, even though this is a little bit tarnished, if you look here in the areas that are kind of not necessary, in other words, they're not really spec'd out, how rough this is compared to these, how the finish is much better than the older units were, and the grind finish is far superior than what GM did years ago. The other is that these shafts no longer incorporate, the factory had these kind of anti-rattle springs for reverse and these little holes over here, okay, and that created a stress riser and a breaking point on main shafts. So because you can do better fits now with better tolerances, these are eliminated and they're not on the newer shafts, which helps prevent, again, shaft breakage. So I want to show you these journals. This is, again, the factory main shaft journal. And if you could see here, it was starting to actually seize up. You could see here, okay, this discoloration, it was getting hot. And you could see where the gear rides. You could see the shiny area over here. This shaft is actually slightly curved in over here. But what happens here is not enough, in my opinion, enough oil to kind of circulate around this way. So the newer main shafts, and a lot of people are doing it this way too, they're going to have this kind of more of a relief in them so the oil can move around better. And again, as you can see here, I have these flats machined into the main shaft to really prevent this particular issue from happening. This is quite common. A lot of people don't realize that, but if you built a lot of Muncies, you would see this from time to time. And oddly, in the 3rd-speed section, I don't know why, but you would see this galling and this heating up over here because the oil can't circulate around. You could actually see that this shaft was starting to get hot and discolored from that. So that's really about it for the main shafts, but I also wanted to mention that if you look on this particular shaft, you see it's just got a little bit more circumference over here. It's a little bit bigger in diameter than the factory shaft. Adds a little bit more beef. And secondly, in terms of the weight, the rifle drilled main shaft is about 1.5 pounds lighter than the factory main shaft. So you got 1.5 pound savings if you're racing. You can use this particular main shaft on the street or on the strip. Been tested, works fine, drag cars, everything, not an issue, okay? So if you need to get a 32 spline main shaft, matter of fact, here's a main shaft here. You can see here, this is a misalignment issue. You can see the way it's all galled up in the front here, like this. This is particularly from misalignment. And it's a solid shaft, and this is what happened to it. So that's why it was scrapped to begin with, but it also started to burn up over here. So that's it on the main shaft. So I hope you enjoyed this little short video. Just wanted to keep you updated on what I'm doing in the shop. I also want to give a shout out to Fantastipack. They're the people who helped me design this packaging. You can actually do it online in 3D and upload your artwork and come up with your concept, which I thought was very cool. I think it's really important to have good packaging and good branding with quality products. So thanks again for watching. See you soon.